The number one problem in my assessment of jazz students these days is that a lot of them don't know any songs by heart. I'm here to help with that. Now, I think that the reason they don't know these songs is twofold. One, it's harder and harder to memorize things. There are less things in our culture that need to be memorized. And two, there's a real culture of reading charts and doing a lot of things that really act like inhibitors of long-term memory. You see these old fuckers at these jazz restaurants for 50 years holding down a gig with the same 300-page book. You'd think that these geezers would figure out how to play these songs by heart after playing an Italian joint, playing standards for 25 years, but they don't, because it's a self-perpetuating process. Reading leads to more reading. If you're one of those morons who says, I'm a visual learner, it's like a painter telling you that they're an auditory learner. There's no such thing as visually learning music. You gotta memorize the way it sounds. And it all starts with melody, but you don't even have to learn how to play the melody. Just listen to the song a lot till you get it in your ear. We're gonna start with a super short form song. This is St. James Infirmary. It's only 8 bars of slow music. Now, at this point, you should just stop the video if you don't know it and hop onto Spotify or wherever you listen to music and just hear some versions. Until you can hum the melody, you have no business learning the song. You just need to be able to hum it to know how it goes. It goes like this. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. It doesn't even matter if you can play it. It's great to be able to play it. I'm intentionally not putting too much shit in it to make it very simple and concise for you. Your goal is to just remember that and then maybe beat time on your chest. Here are the quarter notes, right? Hum it and just go bum ba bum ba bum bum ba ba ba. Improvise the rhythms. Ba ba bum ba ba bum bum. Ba ba bum 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 ba ba bum ba 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 ba. Believe it or not, that's all you need to do for sort of stage 1 of learning. Understand where the time is and understand what the melody is. Next stage, just maybe clap or snap or tap your foot or do whatever to mark time on 2 and 4, just to get a little bit of that swing kind of feeling in you. Ba ba bum ba ba bum bum ba 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 bum ba ba bum ba ba bum ba 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 ba. All right, let's call that stage 2 of learning. Now the next part is to understand the harmony. Start with just the bass notes, understanding the simple counter melody to that melody that's just sitting on the quarter notes or half notes. In our case, we have half note bass line, right? It goes from G minor, which I just play a 3-note voicing like this, just to make it basic. G minor 6, G, E, and B flat. Ba ba bum, ba 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 ba. So what did I do? I went G minor, D7, back to G minor. So how long was that? How much time did that occupy? G minor, D7, G minor. Okay, that's a quarter of the song. A quarter of the song, right? You're almost there. Let's see what the next quarter is. It goes G minor, then it goes to C minor. I'm just gonna grab a C minor minor 6 shell voicing. I can even go up here and use the same voicing that I used for the G minor. And then I'm going to go to D7. So that's half the song. Let's see how it sits in time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Half the song. Now the next two bars are exactly like the beginning. Ba ba bum bum ba 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 ba. So you already know that. That's 75% of the tune. Now what's the ending? What's the last 25%? It just goes E flat 7, D7, back to the 1 chord. That's the whole tune. So let's play it in time, just the harmony. 1, 5, 1, minor obviously. 1 minor, 4 minor, 5. 1 minor, 5, 1 minor. Sub 5 of 5, 5, 1 minor. Now what I was saying out loud is the harmonic analysis of this tune, which is really how I remember tunes, and it makes it really easy to transpose. Now, maybe that's not necessary right now, but it's good to know. The next stage is to hum the melody over that. Ba ba bum, ba 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 ba. Ba ba bum, ba 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 ba. Ba ba bum, ba bum, ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Maybe the next part, maybe a little bit more rubato, a little bit more out of time and free. Try to combine finding the melody notes with those chords. Cool. That's the tune. Now you're at a level where you can just comp it. Obviously there are more chord options, voicings, and ways of reharmonizing it, but if you know this, you know the basic way of playing it. But remember the process. The melody is the song. Then adding the bass notes and the chords. Then being able to integrate that into one thing. So the next level of this is how to solo over it. Now let's take the most basic approach, chord tones, arpeggios. So we're going to take 2 measures at a time. So the first 2 bars are 2 beats of G minor, 2 beats of D, that's the first measure, and then 4 beats of G minor. That's a quarter of the song. So we got this. I'm just going to show you one arpeggio here, G minor, going down to D major, and then G minor. But let's now do it in time. Maybe 8th note. So I have 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. So I just am sort of trying to account for the space, changing the arpeggio. So G minor, D, G minor. Now, it's a little bland to just use arpeggios if you're going to play straight 8th notes, but I don't have to play straight 8th notes. I can play syncopated rhythms, like just something that would sound good on a slow snare drum solo in jazz. 1, 2, 3, 4. Kra, ka, ka, ke, ka, ka, ka. What did I do? I played 2 notes of G minor, and then I played D major. Right, something like that. All just arpeggios. If I want more notes, I can add approach notes to the arpeggios, just half step below them. I can go. Still just the first 2 bars, G minor, D7, G minor for 4. And I'm I'm just thinking G minor. Now let's take a look at the next two measures. It goes G minor, C minor, D for 4. So the arpeggios are G minor, C minor, D. Cool. Next two measures are just like the first two measures. G minor, D, back to G. And then the last two are E flat major, D, G minor. So the whole tune now in arpeggios is going to go something like this. I'm just improvising the motion, but trying to just hit triad notes for the most part. Maybe I hit 1 7 chord in there, but... Here I did, instead of... That's fine. So I'm just going to solo now on the whole form of St. James Infirmary, and I'm going to try to keep the form together and use approach notes with the arpeggios. Now I'll skip around a little bit, not just go 1 flat 3 5 1, maybe go 1 5, just jump around the notes of the arpeggio to space it out, show you some things. But the ones that are switching twice in a measure, meaning 2 beats each, if I'm playing eighth notes, I only have 4 notes on them. So for example, G minor D7 is going to sound like... So I went ba-de-da-de, that's G minor, ba-da-ba-ba, D7, and then resolve to G minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty simple way of playing, but it's effective and it outlines the harmony. I really hope you followed along, and I hope you take the time to memorize these melodies. Trying to learn song without memorizing is like trying to have a meal without ingesting. It's impossible. Subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the Patreon, hit all the buttons, leave a comment, and we'll see you next time.